in, come hither, jump inside my full guard. Okay, so Ian's inside my full guard. We're going to work on a couple of really basic fundamentals on this one. First of all, is what I'm going to do is going to get the same side grip on the sleeve. If I'm having trouble getting the grip on the sleeve, we normally go to the collar and put tension. That way my partner has to have a post or a frame system so I can get the grip nice and easy. Think about it this way is what I want to do from here is I want to bring my knee to my chest, but I want to make sure that the hand's coming to the ground. So I want to do two things. First of all is I pull, just get the hand forward a little bit. It doesn't have to hit the ground, but it has to come off my hip. That's a key factor, okay? So it's pull, and it comes to my chest. And this will put that into space. The thing is, I keep my hand inside the collar, and this will keep my partner punched away as well. The key on this one is that I need to have the elbow attached to my stomach or my chest. So what I see when people do this is they lift the arm up to go and get the Kimura, and they take that, they give the partner this space. So what I'm doing instead, think about it this way, is I'm going to run my hand down to get it deep. So instead of me trying to lift the hand up to get my locking mechanic this way, is I'm going to bring my hand down and lock it up from here. I still have the sleeve. You can go to the wrist if you want to, and from here. Right, what I want to do is control my partner so my head goes on the ground, which by default will make my stomach and my hips flat. I'll apply light pressure with my leg that's over his back, so I slowly kick away. That'll tension the arm, I now slowly roll, and the Kimura will come on nice and fast. And again. So, collar, get a good grip from here, onto the sleeve, hip bump, just put it down. Okay, so my knee comes to my chest and I'm trying to turn. So this helps me turn my part away. Bring my knee to my chest from here, head goes to the ground. Arm comes over, lock it in super deep, try and get your grips. Pressure, 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 pressure. Head on the ground and slowly roll it up. 1, 2, 3. Right. Thank you.
Do you mind if I say you,
Inside the guard. And so I've got the grips from here, little pull. So all I want to do is make sure the hip's on the outside, the hand is on the outside of my hip. That's it. Okay. Turn the corner, stiff arm, so I can't drive back in. The leg comes over, I can't get my hand through now to the Kimura. So it's really important that I'm going to Kimura before I bring my leg over. Right? Because what I'm seeing is, like you got everything set up and you're pushing away, put your leg over, but this is really hard for me to get my arm in now. So here, it's pull, and here, there's too much space, so Ian can set up, push down, head arm track, a lot of variables in here as well. So if you think about it, so we're going to do a combination of both. Right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my knee to my chest, but I'm going to turn the corner, and it gives me space. So what I mean by that is here, bring my knee to my chest, but I turn the corner. So my knees go more towards the head to give me space here. So I'm on the back side of the arm. Okay. So I can now grip and hold in. This means that there's weight on top of his head, which makes it harder for Ian to sit back up. Secondly, is I'm on the shoulder line, which means if I apply pressure, the Kimura is going to come on nice and fast. So it's kind of like a combination that I want to make sure that the weight's of my partner, I've got space to attack the elbow, and that he's going to have trouble reposturing. So grip, pull, push, bring it all the way up from here, turn, grip, nice and tight. Make sure you're punching down on this one so his elbow's locked into position from here. If my partner does the correct thing and hides the arm, so before I've got the Kimura grip, so they hide the arm, or even if I've got it, we reach down, we've got the deep hands. They're going to keep the hand tucked in nice and tight because it's really hard to get the Kimura out, okay? Tuck our legs, kick both of our legs, our hamstrings flat onto the ground from here. That'll put the weight onto the shoulder from here. Okay, and now just lift the leg. Come up and sit. So I'm back onto the Kimura again. I can take the Kimura, I can back step onto the armbar, I can do whatever I want to do from here. Right, so for me, what I try and do is I try and slide into, sorry. So I try and hold, right, so hold the wrist, I try and slide, and my body does the work. So instead of me trying, because I see people get in, they try and lift it, but the downfall is I'm going to get thrown back over because like I'm going that way. Where if I go, I take my weight to the ground, you're going to find that that's going to come in a lot faster. If they're flexible, we'll go an option if they're flexible as well. And we're going to back step onto the arm bar instead, which is a really easy mechanic. Eli, go get this. Grips off the hip, punch the throat, leg comes over, kick, grip. Eli hides the hand, so I'm having a lot of trouble here. Grab the gi pan to make sure you don't put your fingers inside inside the gi from here. But really important that you're going to get penalised for this, so make sure it's on the outside. How does this work? I turn so that we're a cylinder and my hamstrings hit the ground. That'd make them light because the weight's onto the shoulder. Come over, boom, up, and put your bottom on top of them. Okay. Hold the wrist. Eli's quite flexible, so we'll test the theory out from here. So slide down and flexible. So like I'm like, man, most people will be screaming in pain now. Switch. And armbar. Make sure the legs are under the head. The reason being is this, I've got pressure onto the shoulder. So if Eli tries to sit up, there's weight. And I can manipulate the wrist. I've got so many options from here. And I can go back to a Kimura as well.
So Adam, would you consider the triangle?
You can do the triangle as well. Yep, there's no reason why. Armbar first. The armbars are more high percentage than the triangle in that position. Right. Would you like to say it one more time?
Yes, please.
Did you want to see it? Yeah. Hold it. Here. Here. Slide. Hold it. Did that hurt at all? Oh my gosh.
Adam, can I ask, is it worth taking your right leg?
No.
No.
Why don't you take your right leg over the head? Anytime I lift, there's no weight on them. Back behind them, there's two weighted points behind. And any time that there's moving parts, something can go wrong. So see how it's. Can spin out here. The arm goes across the hip this way, not down. Arm goes across the hip here. You okay, Eli? Yeah. Say when.
Look at the way that arm's getting.
Oh shit.
It's fine, it was there.
Cut. Okay. Change partners, 1, 2, 3. This is something that when I got told this, it revolutionised my guard passing. And I've mentioned this quite a few times, but this is one of those details that when you get told it, and I'm like, holy shit, it absolutely revolutionised most of my guard passing from the full guard. And it set up a lot of all my high percentage passes. So we're inside the guard. Once again, got the control. If my left hand is onto the hip, I'm moving to the left hand side, mainly because I can push the hip down and get the control. Where if I'm going to the right side, I'm almost like sweeping myself because I don't have it. So if we're inside the guard, my left hand is on his hip. I'm going 45 degrees backwards and my knee goes in and I'm pushing. They may or may not open their legs. It doesn't make any difference right now. Okay, we step up 45 degrees backwards to make sure that my partner can't grab it. And I'm trying to bring my elbow to the inside. This will stop the triangles, this will stop the arm bars, etc. The part that made a huge difference to me is this. I see a lot of people pushing the leg down. 9 out of 10 times you're pushing Steve's knee into your own leg. Secondly about it is my whole weight's going forward, which means I'm highly susceptible to being put off balance or sweep. So what we're going to do is going to do a couple of motions at once. I'm going to bring my arms forwards and backwards. So I get to the inside. This opens up the guard. It actually kind of splits them up a little bit. This also means that I now have the ability to start to pass, cross knee pass, like it gives me so many options on it. So the part of it that made a huge difference to me was that when we're offside and we're here, we're dropping, hand on the inside, and we're pushing forward, and I can block this out. So this is basically taking the strength out of Steve's hips, which means he's now going to have to rely on the frame system to stop me passing, which will give me the underhook. So this by itself is a really good mechanic for passing guard. The amount of times I've seen people like they're here and they're pushing, and Steve just grabs his collar and pulls the collar forward. I'm like, oh, and I'm off balance, and he just sweeps into triangles. Where if I'm here, he grabs my collar, and like he's almost pulling me past the guard. Right, so just small detail. Inside the guard, left hand onto the hip. Okay, 45 degrees backwards, knee in the bum, push backwards, grab, hand goes backwards, hand goes forward, to open up the guard, and this is your best opportunity because I can now put my hand through to start to initiate the guard pass. We're gonna do that for 2 minutes, guys. Grab some of your insides, 1, 2, 3. Go, so full guard, Rob does the correct thing, hand onto my hip, opens up the legs, moves out, pushes forward from here. So all the things that happens is this, anytime that I'm frame system and his elbows on the inside, he can split me up, there's a lot of tension onto it, so I'm gonna grip. The hardest part about this is, if you think about this way, if I move my hips this way, there's no more tension onto it. And this is set up the perfect Kimura. So, as far as I'm concerned, like anytime that there's tension, they're playing the inside. So anytime that my hips are split up, I'm not trying to hold you there because it doesn't make sense. My guard's being split up, I'm stuck, I know, I'll hold you here. Like, you know, but that's a lot of things like, don't pass, I'm like, but this really hurts, you know? Like, so, change. Take the tension away. Put a foot onto the hip if you can. Take the tension out. Of course, his hand, elbows on the hip will follow. Elbow, pry, and you're going to set the triangle up, you're going to set the omoplata up. This is such a good mechanic. I do like to, even from the triangle position, to finish Kimura from here. Right, both legs over. They call this side guard for some reason, like it's like I'm in the guard, but we're sideways to my partner. I didn't name that, it's just a mechanic. So side guard from here. The beautiful thing about it is I already have the ability to kick my partner down and to raise it. So one more time. We're in the position. Okay, so the purpose on this one is I need the control to anchor him, and I take my head. So I'm going to go, my knee goes out, my hip goes out, I turn, this will bring him forward. Onto the elbow, top side, not bottom side, so top side of the elbow from here, guys. Push, pull. So the hand comes off, whether it holds onto my knee, keep hand side, it doesn't make any difference. Leg comes up. Lock it in. You have so many options from here. Arm bar, triangle, omoplata, you know, like it's just a good mechanic. Don't forget the wrist lock.
Can you finish more with that grip?
Yeah, I can. So how do we finish it? We're not pushing it this way. We're pushing the hand, the wrist this way. So I'm pushing it. So everyone does that, but that gives you the ability. So instead, but you think about this, if I push the wrist into the elbow, so it's now locked in, and I turn, it's going to come on. Because I want to tension it. This doesn't put any more tension onto it. So hold it, push it in, and now turn it. 1, 2, 3.